As I walked through the gates of Oak Ridge High, an eerie sense of unease settled over me. The school campus, usually bustling with students, now felt oddly deserted. The sun cast long shadows across the empty courtyard, creating an atmosphere of isolation that sent shivers down my spine. I'd heard rumors about the history of this place. Stories of mysterious disappearances and unexplainable events that had occurred over the years. But like any curious teenager, I brushed them off as mere urban legends. Little did I know, I was about to experience the terror firsthand. It was a gloomy Monday morning, and as I made my way to the classroom, a faint whisper seemed to echo through the hallway. I paused, my heart racing, and looked around, but there was no one in sight. Dismissing it as a figment of my imagination, I continued on my path. The day progressed as usual until strange things began to happen. The lights flickered incessantly, and the air turned icy cold, even though it was a warm September day. The teachers seemed unfazed, as if they were accustomed to these occurrences. I exchanged uneasy glances with my classmates, realizing that I wasn't the only one who sensed the abnormality. During lunch break, I decided to explore the school's history in the library. As I skimmed through old yearbooks, I stumbled upon a faded article from decades ago. It spoke of a student named Emily who had vanished without a trace while attending Oak Ridge High. The article described eerie happenings leading up to her disappearance. Flickering lights, whispers in the hallways, and a bone-chilling cold that seemed to follow her. A chill ran down my spine as I realized that the accounts from the past mirrored what was happening now. Could it be that Emily's spirit still roamed these halls, trapped in a realm between the living and the dead? The more I read, the more convinced I became that something sinister lurked within the walls of this school. Nightfall approached, and with it came a sense of dread I couldn't shake. I decided to stay back and investigate further, armed with a flashlight and my courage. As I ventured into the heart of the campus, the atmosphere grew oppressive. Whispers grew louder, almost forming words, and shadows danced along the walls. Then, I saw her, a pale figure standing at the end of the corridor. My heart pounded as I recognized the girl from the yearbook photo. Emily. Her eyes were hollow, her gaze fixed on me. Trembling, I called out to her, my voice quivering. She didn't respond, but instead, she started to glide toward me, her feet not touching the ground. Paralyzed with fear, I tried to retreat, but the hallway seemed to stretch endlessly. The temperature dropped drastically, and I could see my breath in the air. Emily's whispers grew louder, echoing in my ears. I closed my eyes, hoping it was all a nightmare. Suddenly, a gust of cold wind swept past me, and when I opened my eyes, Emily was gone, but the corridor was no longer empty. Faint apparitions of other students began to materialize around me, faces contorted in fear and anguish. Their silent screams filled the air, and I realized that Oak Ridge High was a place of trapped souls, reliving their horrors over and over again. Terrified and desperate to escape, I ran through the haunted halls, the echoes of those tormented souls following me. As I burst through the school's entrance, the sun's warm rays hit my face, and the spirits vanished into thin air. The campus felt alive again, as if the darkness had lifted. I never returned to Oak Ridge High after that day. The horrors I experienced were etched into my memory forever. The school's sinister history had become a chilling reality for me. And as I moved on with my life, I couldn't help but wonder how many other places held similar secrets, waiting for an unsuspecting soul to uncover their terrifying truths.